Welcome to Get Your Mind Right, Boots on the Ground, where we spotlight professionals in the field who have overcome challenges and how they work through them. Their stories offer real-world insights and tips for thriving in today's competitive landscape.
Hey, welcome back, everyone, to Get Your Mind Right, the world's only daily video podcast, especially for merchant services and digital marketing professionals. Now, this is our special Boots on the Ground edition, and with me is Whitney Johnson. Whit, thanks for coming back for a second round today.
Oh yeah, I'm all about it.
Well, me too. Me too. Hey, I want to pick up where we left off yesterday. You talked about really doing a great job when you're qualifying your merchant and coming up with a solution and a strong proposal versus a lot of options. Okay, kind of take me through your next step and your logic and what your rhythm is.
Yeah, so one thing that we want to do, kind of like we discussed before, is really making sure that we are meeting a merchant's need. And I talked a little bit about this already, but using question-based sales to see what a merchant's needs are, and then using your product and pricing expertise as a rep to best meet those needs. So we have a lot of reps enact what we call the information dump truck. So they meet with a merchant and they say, hey, we've got physical terminals, we've got virtual terminals, we can do ACH, we can do digital marketing, we can do this and that. And in putting myself in the position of a merchant, that is extremely overwhelming. You don't know what a lot of these things are. You don't know this person. You're not even sure if you can trust this person. I'm sure a lot of folks are like me in that sense. Whenever they are presented with something like that, they get overwhelmed, they shut down, and your sale stops right then and there. So what we want to do is avoid being that information dump truck. So do your question-based sales, ask them, hey, how do you process currently? What do you like about it? What do you want to do differently? Hey, we have this product. I think this would really benefit you in this way. So not being that information dump truck, but seeing those needs and explaining how you can best fit those needs. I think that's really where that sweet spot is to be found.
It's funny you bring that up because I just don't see that in our industry. But, as a consumer, as someone spends money, I see this with salespeople everywhere I go. I mean, and to your point, I love that metaphor. You hear the beep, 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 and you feel it coming. You see that bed tip up, and you're just buried in an avalanche of information. I mean, why do you think it is that people do that? I mean, it clearly does not work.
Maybe just lack of training. Maybe that's what they've done, and surely they try it 100 times, it's bound to stick maybe 5 of those times. But that's really not an effective way to sell. So what I would encourage folks to do is get spun up on your training, figure out what those questions are that you need to be asking. And of course, those are going to vary based on the merchant type and the industry type, but really delve into those niches. And I would recommend starting in one place, getting one industry, getting really good at seeing what those needs are. And then, once you really nail that one industry, I would encourage you to branch out onto others so you can get strong on those as well.
Yeah, I've got my own opinion. Of course, it's always easy to come up with like one pat answer and sell them as that. But I think product information, regardless of what industry you're in, it's extremely important, right? Your merchant's counting on you for a solution, and you can't really provide an effective solution if you don't understand the product. So I think salespeople, I think they really fall though, and again, this is dangerous making a generalization, but I think that a lot of times that they just want to rely on that product knowledge, right? It's not wisdom, it's just information, right? There's nothing applied about it, and that's not really helping your merchant out at all. And I think sometimes I see people do this, and it's like they feel like they're impressing people by showing them what their breadth and depth of knowledge is. And I mean, again, you're not driving your merchant solution at all when you're doing that.
I would absolutely agree with that. And I think, unfortunately, what I've seen, at least, it's an ego thing. Hey, look how smart I am. Look at how much I know. Merchants don't care about that. Frankly, if I were in the position of a merchant, I would be, probably a little bit irritated on that front. So, I think really what's important there is taking this solution and this knowledge and really applying it and making it real for the merchant. Hey, here's what this can do, and here's how it's going to benefit you. Here's how it's going to streamline your processes. This is what those savings are going to look like. This is going to make life easier for your employees. Really, those applied benefits, I think that's the biggest good for the merchant.
Excellent. Excellent.
Is it your turn?
No. Okay, so we'll want to edit this part out. So what's next on your topic? Topics.
Cost savings, right?
Yeah. So let's
That's
just
the
pick
next
up fresh.
question.
Let's just pick up fresh from there.
Okay. Do you just want me to get into cost
Yeah,
savings?
just start talking. Kendall will edit this out.
Okay. So a lot of times we see reps too that are really focused on cost savings. And again, we talked about this a little bit earlier, and that race to the bottom, right? The race to zero. And in this day and age, the industry is increasingly more competitive than it used to be, and cost savings just isn't going to cut it anymore. So that's when you can really hone in on, hey, here's how my product's going to make your life easier. Here's how my great customer service and tech support team are going to make life better for you. So as far as determining, there still are plenty of merchants out there who are concerned with cost savings. So again, really delving into that question-based sales and seeing what's most important to the merchant. Is it streamlining the processes? Is it just getting away from their terrible processor that they have already? Is it the savings? Really feeling that out and using that to guide your pitch in presenting what is the most important for the merchant.
So you said earlier on that you'd made some mistakes early on. Have you ever made that mistake of assuming that cost savings is really, really important to a merchant when it's not even on their top 10?
Oh, absolutely. I had one merchant. It's a very large merchant, and he this came through from a referral partner, and I got with the merchant. I said, hey, send me a statement. I'll see what kind of savings we can get for you, this and that. He was written pretty high already, so there was definitely the opportunity for those savings. And I get back with him and I said, hey, this is how much we're going to save you. He's super excited about it. And, or I was super excited about it. So I take it to the merchant and he's like, oh, okay, that's great. But really, I really hate my processor today. I want to go with you guys. So I really ruined that for myself because I mean, the deal was pretty much a given anyway. And I just cut myself and evolve out of all of that additional margin that would have been made had I not assumed that cost was the most important thing to the merchant.
Okay. Well, what we're talking about here, it's not novel. I mean, we haven't invented anything here because, like in technology, solution sales has been around a lot longer than you and I have. But it's amazing because, like, when you go to sales training, it's about that. Yeah, I see salespeople all the time, and all they want to talk about is just cost and pricing. I mean, why do you think that is?
I think people, just the current state of the economy, I think that people are really rattled by it. Rightfully so, right? It's hard in this day and age to provide for your family. So certainly cost is something on all of our minds. But I think it's wrong to assume that that applies to every business and to every business owner for sure.
Okay. Well, I've been doing this for a while, and I've seen people really, and I've been in technology sales, my whole adult life, but I just see people over and over and over. That's all they can do is just talk about price, just price. So it's befuddling to me because of all the strategies to employ, it's not that I see over and over and over. It's the very worst one. If it were the best one, it's the one I would employ. But it's the absolute worst one. But yet people just insist on it.
Really, what I think it is too is probably just a lack of training. We've had it. I mean, just mainstream media, right? Oh, like this is the cheapest one. This is the one that you want. But that's weak sales, right? If savings is all you've got, find something else to do because it really is kind of a disservice to all of the great things that we do have to offer, right? All of these really robust, really, really awesome products. And again, the great team behind it, the great service. You know, we've got someone here in-house 7 to 11, Monday through Friday. That's huge, right? Merchants really care about that. They care that they're not automatically just routed to talk to someone overseas, right? So don't sell yourself short. Don't sell your company short. There is a lot to offer outside of just savings.
Well, this is an over 18 crowd, so I'm gonna take your phrase and expand on it. But our president used the phrase weak sales. Our president, one of his phrases is weak assed sales. So I agree with both of you on that point. So with that, we are out of time again. And there's still a lot that I have to cover with you. Can you come back tomorrow?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. I'll see everyone back here bright and early tomorrow. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome.